you going over Doubtful Valley?
We're on our way to the sheriff's office, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see what's going on at the sheriff's office, and we're going to have some talk, keep the stream going, and have conversations. We continue to see the case of Nancy Guthrie. February 1st. Keep it straight. Haters are going to hate, Misty Haynes says. I take it as a compliment. Thank you, JLR, for continuing to keep Nancy as a priority. More Red Bulls from Sherry Beardsley. Thank you, Sherry. Red Bulls. We love Red Bulls. Yes, Red Bulls. Red Bulls. Lots of Red Bulls. Some people say Red Bulls are bad for your heart. Working our way down the sheriff's office. Working our way down the sheriff's office. We're like dead in the sun. Safe and sound. These roads are crazy. It's just nothing but potholes shaking around. It's crazy. Some of these roads in Tucson are absolutely atrocious. There's nothing but potholes. Horrible for your tires. Like, what the heck? It just bounces you around. It's crazy. These roads are, I don't know, man. Roads are crazy, man. All right, JLR investigates. Come on in. On our way to the sheriff's office. We'll see what happens tomorrow with the search. Hopefully these people can find Nancy. Be with them. A clue, something, man. I'll just find a perp's backpack, mask, some sort of outfit discarded. I truly doubt the perp has that same outfit on their possession. They discarded it. Probably like where? Oh. Sir, you're just going in the middle of the road like that on a red. He gave the finger. That guy on that scooter, but he's going across and it clearly says no crossing at the time. Have empathy. 77-year-old Iona Bernice Deese missing, Maricopa County. Whoa, 77-year-old. Last seen February 26th, 2026, at her home in Mesa. Her car is still in the driveway. Hey, I'm gonna screenshot that. I'm gonna look that up in a bit. Crime Cons. Interesting. What's all that about? That is interesting, to say the least. Whoa, this guy goes right in front of me. No blinkers. I don't know, man. Hello. Guys listening to some blues next door. Workman 4N. It's his license plate. Gas looks like it went up in price, like 30 cents a gallon or something in the last day. Almost in downtown Tucson. Yeah. Downtown Tucson. This guy didn't even have a back bumper. It's gone. Dude, his entire back bumper is gone. What the heck? Dude, in some states you won't pass inspection like that. The back bumper is gone. Drive around in half cars. And if some people's philosophy is, hey man, if it runs, I'm running. Jules 528 says, wonder if the lady was in a group church or knew of Nancy as well, if connected by same peoples. Windsor, Ontario. Wonder if the lady was in a group church or knew of Nancy as well, if connected by same peoples. Great question. I don't know the answer to that, Jules. I don't know the answer to that, Jules, from Windsor, Ontario. There's some mystery in this case in reference to people. One, we don't know the Uber driver. Two, we don't know the friend from the church. Three, we don't even know any of Nancy's friends. We don't know anybody We don't even know Nancy's friends at all. Like, really nobody stepped to the plate. Now, there might be a reason to that. Most likely elderly, probably scared to death too. Something will happen. Don't want media prying, don't want people to ask questions. We don't know the pool guy's name. We don't know the gardener's name. We don't know the healthcare worker's name. We don't know any names of who have been in that house. There's no names that have been in that house have been released. None. We don't know the names of anyone that's been in that house. It's interesting. You would think like somebody in that mix would come to the plate and share something about Nancy. Something about her. Be careful, people. Bernice Deese is missing from Arizona. She is 76 years old. I read the article. Yeah, I'm going to look into that when I park. Z for me. 76-year-old that just went missing in Arizona up towards Phoenix. Was it Mesa? 76-year-old. Some people in our chat was like suspecting, oh, well, there could be like some sort of like serial killer involved that preys on the elderly. Traffic is a nightmare around here. So much red lights, hardly move. Almost on the interstate. Here's some more crazy road stuff. It's unreal. So much construction and roads are all potholes. Whoa, okay.
Go past this light. Then, at the next one, use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto North Freeway Road.
We got all kinds of traffic here. Traffic. It's what traffic.
left 2 lanes to take the I-10 East ramp. Use the left 2 lanes to take the I-10 East ramp. Then merge onto I-10 East.
I-10. Uh-oh. Somebody's getting pulled over.
Continue on I-10 East for 5 miles.
What the heck is this? What the heck is this guy doing? What the heck is this guy doing? Oh, that's what's causing the traffic jam. All that debris. No, there was a bunch of debris in the middle of the road. He was trying to slow traffic down so we could get the debris. That's what caused the traffic jam.
What are you doing, girl? I'm trying to figure out why my
There's all types of like
gets out,
siding.
but maybe it is.
Siding.
People come in.
Look like sheetrock or something.
A lot of people might just be getting tired of watching this, you know. That's okay. We got crafts coming up and all kinds of other stuff.
Probably stuff flying out of people's car, like the black glove on Campbell. Somebody just, a black glove just probably flew out of someone's pickup truck and laid on the side of the road. And they pick it up and think it could be the perps.
Little Hobby Lobby. I don't think we had a Hobby Lobby here. We know. Good.
We had the sheriff's office in like 6 minutes.
In 2 miles, take exit 262 for Benson Highway toward Park Avenue.
So far,
Benson Highway.
Take exit 262 for Benson Highway toward Park Avenue.
I need to go down to Nicholas.
Take exit 262. Then merge onto East Benson Highway.
Benson Highway.
Continue on East Benson Highway for 1.5 miles.
1.5 miles.
Biscuit. I'm still trying to figure
Right.
things out on this. Get it out a
What's
little
there?
more. A lot of people, I think, are
Hotel,
just
they're called the
getting
Kennedy
bored with it because you haven't done
Kennedy
very
Hotel.
man. Like I know, like I did at the beginning. So it's kind of crazy.
All right,
I don't
Sheriff
know if I
Nanos.
did something
What's going
wrong
on, Nanos?
on YouTube or pushed the wrong thing. I don't know.
Talk to us, Nanos. Nanos hasn't given a press conference or media interview in over a week. Press conference in like 2 weeks.
I gotta go drink something. I'll be right back.
Where's Nanos?
Not bad.
I haven't get a press conference in a while. Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy? Where's Nanos? Sheriff Nanos. Let's see. The phone's blowing up. All right. Neighbor just informed me nothing going on at Nancy or Annie and Tommaso's home. Nobody's even around there. Nothing going on at Annie and Tommaso's home.
Go past East Apache Park Place and turn right into the parking lot.
Over here. The sheriff's office.
Turn right into the parking lot.
The bomb squad unit. Dun, dun, dun. We're here. Looks like some media's here. We are here.
Your destination is on the left.
Yeah, there's a couple of media people here too. All right. We're here. Sheriff's office. Yeah, some people say Luke interview. Let me see what's going on. Luke. Let me see. Luke. Yeah, we could do the Luke. Let me see. Here you go. Luke Daly.
Have believed that you.
This is coming from Brianna Whitney. Luke sits down with a one-on-one. Yeah, let's listen. I haven't heard this yet. You guys ready to watch Luke? Come on in, folks. JR investigates. Here's Luke. We're going to watch Luke. Luke. Let's listen to Luke. Put this down. Yeah, we'll keep it like this.
Many people have believed that you are the person on the surveillance video, the abductor, the masked person. Is that you?
It's not me. I don't see the resemblance of it looking like me. But absolutely not. I have nothing to do with this case.
Nothing to do with it. Do you have any idea who is involved in the abduction?
I don't. If I did, I would happily tell FBI, police, anything. I mean, I, like everyone else, just want Nancy to come home and be safe. But that being said, I have nothing to do with this case, and that's it.
Explain to me what happened on the night you were detained, where you were, you're with your car. How did that unfold in your eyes?
So I was driving home. I noticed two sheriff vehicles following me. They pulled me over at the Culvers right there. Asked me to get out of the car. Didn't tell me what it was about. So they had me cuffed in the back of a cop car, detained. I was asking, like, what am I being detained for? And they wouldn't tell me anything. They just said that the detectives would be there to talk to me. And once I saw, like, FBI and all the other cars start pulling in, I'm like, oh, this is probably about the Guthrie case. I'm like, this should be easy. Like, I have nothing to do with this, so it should be not a big deal to clear my name and move on. But the whole time during the questioning, didn't really seem like more of like a fishing expedition for them to try to get me to say something, because all the dates I was telling them where I was, things like that. I'm like, all you'd have to do is look at my phone and see my location. I was nowhere near anywhere or have any connection to this. But still, it was tough, like, being there. Like, I mean, I don't trust the FBI to the extent that I'm, like, thinking that there's pressure on this case and they want to find the person. So, like, the whole time while I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, I'm, like, panicking, thinking that I'm going to be framed for this, or they're trying to pin this on me somehow.
Did they tell you what led them to you? I mean, something made them believe they needed to talk to you about it. What was that? I
asked them. They didn't tell me any information about that. And I have thought of any type of reason why they could have come after me. But there's nothing. And I think that's why they didn't tell me.
Were you in the area of the home at the time, like the overnight, or would it have been something like, we've tracked this person near?
Well, I live near her house, but I mean, I didn't even know that until after the fact. Like, I barely just learned where her actual house was in relation to mine. So I didn't even know.
Had you ever met her?
No.
Did you know who she was?
I knew who she was because my mother was following the case. But in terms of other than that, I would just go off what my mother was telling me.
And so how long were you detained for?
Probably maybe 4 or 5 hours.
In the back of that car the whole time? And they searched your Range Rover extensively?
Yeah, they searched Range Rover. They towed my Range Rover. Did all DNA testing or whatever, and then gave it back to me. Took my cell phone. I've had no way to get a hold of anyone, which is probably a good thing because everyone's looking at me like I'm this person that I'm not. So it's been rough.
You got your car back?
Yes.
In rough condition, or was it okay?
Well, when I went to pick it up, like, it wouldn't start. They, I guess they drained the battery down, and it was just covered in the whatever white substance that they use for testing. But yeah, then I got it started up, and it wasn't. Luckily, it wasn't damaged in terms of like repairs or anything. But
so when they released you, what did they say? They say you're free? Did they say never mind? I mean, what was the verbiage there from them?
They had just told me that they were still at my house, so I couldn't go home. But they drove me somewhere near the house and just dropped me off. I was like, well, I don't have a phone. How am I supposed to figure out when I can go back to the house? They basically said, you're just going to have to figure that out. So, I mean, I waited just where they dropped me off at for maybe an hour or so. I had a friend that lived near the area, and I walked over there. They weren't home. So I was just waiting, like basically just on their patio. And then it got to the point where I'm like, well, they should be done by now. I walked back to my house, And this was like the worst part for me, is getting there and seeing the house torn up. But the worst part was my mom not being there, and her being elderly and having AFib and things like that. I'm thinking the worst. Like, I see her cars here, but she's not there, and I don't have my phone to get a hold of her. So I'm wondering what happened, if I need to start calling hospitals or what the deal was. But luckily, I guess she went to one of the neighbors, but I didn't find that out until the next day.
Right. You were detained and released, but you've said it, your face, your name, it's everywhere online. People still believe you were either involved or did this. What's that been like for you to have your name, your picture, even a past mugshot all over the internet associated with this case?
I mean, for me, it's terrible. It's hard to go anywhere, and the hard part is they're making all these assumptions based on things that have absolutely no relevance, and they're just bringing up my past, which I do have a past, but nothing violent or anything like that. All my past has been involved with using drugs, and I haven't been in that life for over 2 years now. So all the things that they're bringing up, I guess it's public record, but it would have came out if it wasn't for all these people speculating and doing things like that. So now people that had no idea about my past, so I've done like a good job of working past it and not having anything to do with it. So them doing that now is kind of just reopening this whole speculation and make me out to look like this bad person, which I'm not.
And it's not just been you. People have found, records of an alleged girlfriend of yours. There's been a lot of rumors swirling around. What do you want to say about those rumors, about you, about her, about, everybody that people have looked at and said, well, they could do this?
Yeah, first of all, that's not my girlfriend. I barely knew that girl when I was arrested with her on a completely different circumstance over a year ago. I haven't talked to her since, and I guess they're just going off of the arrest saying that I was arrested with her. So, but I hardly know her and don't associate with her. But in terms of everything else, I mean, all the speculation is just going off of, I don't even know if people really believe it, but online it just seems like they're pushing this narrative and trying to make connections with things that are, I don't know, basically like circumstantial, like saying my eyelashes match the guy in the ski mask picture, which I'm sure like if you could use anyone's picture and find similarities.
And you don't recognize the person on that,
No.
in that footage?
No, I don't. But in terms of all this, like I said, they're comparing my face to this. They're talking about my Range Rover, which I didn't even buy until after she was reported missing.
It was a new car, yeah?
Yeah.
For you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're talking about another car that was towed off my property. That car wasn't an accident, has nothing to do with this. It wasn't towed in relation to this case. It was being towed by the insurance company to assume if it was totaled or not. So that had nothing to do with the case. There's no evidence to point towards me other than speculation.
You really have no idea what led them to you in this case?
Absolutely not.
Still a mystery to you?
Yes, and I would love to find out.
Were you dealing mostly with sheriff's deputies or FBI agents when you were detained?
When I was detained by the sheriffs, but in terms of all the questioning was done by the FBI.
What would you like to say to both PCSD and the FBI?
Basically what I told them before, if there's anything, I'm happy to help. If there actually was something real that I could help them with, but like I said, they have my phone. They went to my phone. So, I mean, if it was anything real, they could look through that and hope clear my name. But in terms of the collateral damages being part of it, there's not really any type of way. There's no going back from this.
For your whole family, too. I mean, your mom has had to go through this, too. As a family, how has this made you guys feel collectively together to kind of be in this public shock, this public scrutiny?
it all just seems like a nightmare. I mean, it doesn't seem real, and it's just been, we're all just it's just been a nightmare. I know my mom, she had like problem with stress, and like she was doing good before this. After this, she's been a lot more stressed. It's been hard. I'll let her speak to how it's affected her, but I mean, in terms of collectively as a family, it's been a nightmare.
You know, what's your message for Nancy Guthrie's family?
I mean, I like everyone else. I want to see her come home. I want the actual suspect to be found. I think it's really unfair to them to give them false hope by going off whatever they went off to have this huge investigation and raid happen. To me, it's like giving them false hope that they had a suspect, and then it was nothing. And I'm not the first person either, so I think it's wrong in that sense.
This is your first interview since you've been detained. What's your hope in putting your voice out there now that people will get from this interview?
I mean, for my personal interest, I would just say just not to go off speculation of everything you hear on the internet, and kind of like the hive mind mentality that someone says something and then they just go off of it based on no evidence, no truth. But I mean, in terms of like moving forward, I just want to be cleared, have actual verification that I was cleared by the FBI and sheriff, whoever else.
Have they officially cleared you?
This is just going off what I've heard, but I guess I've been cleared, but they don't close any case, I guess, because it's still ongoing. But I mean, I know personally there's nothing else they're going to come across that points towards me. So
Unequivocally, you are not the person, you are not involved.
Absolutely, 100%.
Is there anything else you want to clear up that people may have said, that you've seen, that you feel, that you have the opportunity now to address?
Nothing particular is coming to mind right now. Obviously, I'm nervous. This is, I guess, my first interview, and I mean, I'm not trying to get more attention from this. I just want to put it out there for me that I had nothing to do with this, and I'm hoping that the truth will come out, whatever that may be. I have no idea.
I appreciate your time, Chris. Do you have anything that you want Luke to address or add? Luke, is there anything else that I didn't ask you want to address or talk about while you're here? Just make sure that you get your opportunity to say anything you want to.
I just want to say again that I hope that she's safe. I hope they find her, and I just want to move on with my life and not have any. I mean, it's been hard. Like, I can't go anywhere. Everyone gives me dirty looks, and they see me in my car. Like, I'll just assume that like, I don't know, people are just think I'm like this person, and it's been hard, like leaving, going anywhere, doing anything. So I'd like to be able to go about my life and not have this shadow of doubt cast over me.
Brianna Whitney. They say he interviews the mom too. Mary Chapman Daly talks to detainment. The mom. Okay, so let's just review Luke. Do you believe him? Do you believe what Luke has to say? I personally glad that he came out and did that. I'm glad that Brianna got a sit down with him and he wanted to set the record straight. I don't think he's involved. I mean, you can kind of, I mean, somebody doing that, it seems like, he got a pass, right? He knows he got a pass. A lot of cloud of suspicion, but he came out there and set the record straight. So my opinion is I believe him. You want to hear from these people and stuff, and you can kind of, he just seems like he's just a mess. He's a mess. And he can't blame the internet because the authorities are the ones that did this and, did this to him and his family. The internet runs with, the sheriff had could have cleared this up very instantly, but lack of information leads to a lot of speculation. When you raid somebody's home that's miles away from the home, everyone's going to talk. That's why we were checking up to see what's going on each and every day at out front of Luke's home. To me, I feel like he's not involved. He probably has a big lawsuit. But how does it get to that point? How does it get to the point where they get him, do what they did to him and his mom? We're about to listen to his mom. Probable cause? What's the probable cause? Sheriff just, because he looks like, does he look like the guy? I don't even think he looks the guy. It's probably a good thing he shaved. A lot of people think his eyes look the same, though. All right, let's listen to the mom. This is Brianna Whitney, AZ family, now interviewing the mom. Let's review this.
Luke is your son? Yes. Luke is your
Okay, Luke is your son. Starts out, Luke is your son. This is like a 13-minute interview. This is fascinating.
Luke is your son? Yes. You were Nancy Guthrie's neighbor, pretty close by.
I didn't realize that.
You didn't know that?
No.
So did you not know?
I knew it after everything happened. But otherwise, who'd heard of her?
You hadn't heard of her?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you hear that she is abducted. She goes missing. And I assume your first thought when you hear this is, oh my gosh, this is crazy and it's nearby. Were you following the story, following the case?
Totally. At that point, to see if they could ever find her, And, Savannah grew up in Arizona and, her family. And we watch her on TV. So it's sort of like, she comes into our living room and tells us what's going on. So it's, it's very emotional for me. I'm old and I'm not used to this kind of stuff at all, but I have a lot of empathy and pray. I don't have a lot of hope but that the family continues on and it's, huge loss for all of us, actually.
Oh, it completely affects the community, a community you're part of. So when you first start hearing about it, I imagine there's a lot of upset and fear, concern.
Yes. And they were searching, I live on this street, and then they were searching a street a little closer and a little farther out, and, it's just weird to have these people standing in front of my house wanting to talk, mostly news people wanting to.
Yeah, the media don't.
I didn't talk to those people at all. We just. Mm-hmm.
So tell me what happened when this all ends up at your home. Your home ends up becoming part of this story.
Yeah, well, people were coming to the door and I wasn't necessarily answering it. They might not have even had a camera or anything. And then this one, late afternoon when they came in the big SWAT vehicles, pulled into my driveway and said they wanted to see anything that could link anything. I said, well, yeah, go ahead. So they were there for about 6 hours and I was in the SWAT vehicle and they went through my house and went through everything and tore everything, if the door was locked, they would break it open to go see what was in there. There really wasn't anything in there, but it was pretty upsetting.
Well, and it's one thing to come to you and say, do you have any video or anything like that? It's another to detain you and search your house with a search warrant. Did they tell you why?
I guess I assumed, because I live close by or something, but I just said I'd do anything if we could find some clues that might help, but I don't think there's going to be anything in here, but go ahead and look. I didn't say you can't look. I didn't even think. It was kind of, late in the day. I'm so sorry. I'll turn that off. I get a lot of phone calls now, a lot of messages from people. How are you doing, Mary? So, and then I just decided I was much better off going to Phoenix to be with Matt and the grandkids and his wife and everything.
So when they detained you, did you know that this was related to also them investigating Luke?
No.
You had no idea?
No, I wasn't thinking this was about Luke. You know, I found out it was also about Luke, but initially, no, I was thinking it was all about Nancy Guthrie and finding her and whatnot. So, because I was thinking, I don't even think Luke probably ever watched the news and even saw Savannah on the news. I mean, I did.
Right. So when did you learn that, your detainment was related to Luke's detainment in this case?
When? I'm not exactly sure when, because honestly, during this time, I was really emotional, and there were lots of information coming in, and so I don't remember exactly the time, but I know that in retrospect, I know all this stuff that it did, but initially I didn't think of it being Luke as part of this, because I knew it wasn't something that Luke would be involved in any way, and he wasn't. So, yeah.
And when you learned that, was there any thought could he have been involved?
No, I didn't think he ever could have been involved. Not at all. No.
So you and Luke were not involved in anything in this case.
Right, except seeing it on TV and acting and some of the consequences of, we want to search this. And I'm like, okay, if it helps find, because this was early on when we thought differently about it.
Did they take anything specific from your home?
Did they take anything? I can't think of anything they took. I can't think of anything.
And did they
I
eventually?
might think of something later.
That's
I hate to
fine.
say it, but
Yeah. Did they eventually tell you that they were searching your home in relation to this case, or did you this whole time think they're just looking to see if I have any surveillance video or anything like that? Like, where did that shift happen?
They didn't give me a lot of information, but I just assumed, and I said, well, if it's, like I said, if it's something that might help us find her, then go for it if you think there's anything in here, but I don't think there is. So, yeah.
Did you ever suspect that Luke might know who was involved?
No.
Not at all.
No. Mm-mm.
So you guys were basically both detained for hours. You were questioned, your property gone through, and then released, but with not a lot of explanation as to why.
Well, I guess they just said they could do, I didn't want to stop if it might be helpful, but I had no idea when. I thought they'd maybe come in and look around for an hour or something, poke around, and, but. Yeah.
So you have not been back at your home since staying there since this.
I just got back.
What's that like?
It's really good to be back here. I was up in Phoenix with my kids and grandkids, which is wonderful. But, we built our home and lived there a long time. And Matt's grown up in it. Luke's grown up in it. They're, so it's, it's home. So I love being there. I'm glad to be back. And it's nice to know that Luke's there and, with me.
I mean, in the days since you guys were detained, it's not been an easy road for any of you, Luke especially. I mean, people still believe he is the person on the video camera. They still believe he's the person who abducted Nancy Guthrie. His face is out there. His name, your name has been out there. How, as a family, have you emotionally dealt with that, even though you've been released?
Well, things will just pop up and I'll just feel a lot more like, even sitting here talking about it, it is very emotional. And part of me just wants to say goodbye to all this chapter. So hopefully this interview will help kind of have some closure for me and for everybody else who's felt the impact, because this has been huge impact, not just here. I mean, all the family from Rhode Island called right away and said, wow, look what's happening. I mean, I was like, my gosh, I don't really do Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. I'm not the right demographic. I don't spend my time doing that. But
Luke's on it. I mean, he is, younger, and that is
Yeah,
part of him. You just had to see his face out there.
That's really a shame, I think. But I was shocked about all of that. That was an education for me in terms of a way of communicating and things people like to do, like younger people, not older people like me.
Yeah. So, what do you say to people who have also brought up Luke's past and kind of associated, oh, well, he's had a past with criminal activity, therefore this could be a part of this? What do you say to those people?
Well, I don't know. They don't really ask me that. My friends, I have a really good group of friends here in Tucson. And they never really questioned me about that stuff. And if they thought it, they didn't, come up and say, well, could he have done this? And they didn't. Probably out of respect. Sure. Because they don't know. And I didn't know what all was going on sometimes. But I knew this wasn't, Luke's had other issues, but this is not the kind of thing that he had a problem with. And he's doing well now, and we're all kind of in the recovery mode, if you know what I mean, trying to get our lives back and get back to normal again and all that stuff.
For your family, it's been tough. For the Guthrie family, it's been tough. What is your thought process trying to relate to the Guthries themselves going through this, but in the most awful way, in that they've lost Nancy and there's still no answers?
Really, mostly I pray. Yeah.
And they've asked for prayers.
They've asked for prayers, and sometimes I can listen to Savannah's, she comes on and talks often. You guys all know that probably. And I've watched a little bit, but I can't watch too much because it just makes me want to cry. It's just so sad. And the longer it goes on, then the more hope is lost,
For you guys in this neighborhood, it's a very tight knit. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It's quiet. It's quaint. To have this kind of onslaught, the media spectacle, and then to become where you are, does that change your perception of how safe home feels?
Well, I feel safe in my home now. I didn't for a while. That's why I went to Phoenix. I have wonderful neighbors that live right next door, and we're in this little cul-de-sac together. And that's where the SWAT team came up the cul-de-sac and stuff. But I stayed with them some of the time. A couple nights I stayed over at David and Margaret's house because I was uncomfortable, So, I just never thought in my life who would imagine something like this? There was so much sadness, and I want to say global, but certainly our whole country, but it goes farther than that probably.
Oh, it really does.
The way media is today, I grew up in a different era, as you know. So it's amazing how things spread. So
what do you want to say to the Guthrie family, especially for you and your son, if there was any possibility they still believed you guys could be involved? What do you want to say to the Guthries?
Savannah, I am just very, very sad and sorry about Nancy. And I pray for you and your family that you heal, that you go back to your normal place of life and resume and build with your family and your children and your husband. But I know it's going to be a challenge, but I'm going to keep praying.
And you want them to know no involvement from you and Luke?
No involvement from Luke and I, no.
Thoughts? JLR investigates. Brianna Whitney speaking to Luke and Luke's mom, Mary Chapman Daly. Whew. Luke. Because if you just put Luke in YouTube, there's just video after video after video of Luke. Just Luke. Just videos and videos and videos. Luke. It's nothing but Luke. Luke. People putting Luke on their thumbnails. Luke. Where else is Luke? Carlos. Not Luke. Carlos. Remember Carlos? Luke. He's all over. Luke. 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 Luke is everywhere. Carlos. Carlos and Nanos. So Carlos and Luke now out on the record say not involved. Do you believe Luke? Do you believe Luke? Outside of the sheriff's office, I believe him. I believe him. He talked a little bit about Kayla Day. He said, yeah, I got arrested with her, but I haven't been with her. It's not a girlfriend. They might have a mega lawsuit against the Pima County Sheriff's Office. What got the Pima County Sheriffs to raid this guy's house and take Luke and detain him for 4 or 5 hours and make him walk home? He walked home that night. Pretty crazy. What else is popping, folks? We are at 11 o'clock hour here. Continuous coverage of the Nancy Guthrie case back out in front of Pima County, the sheriff's department. All right, hold on. I'm getting some messages here. Oh, yeah, that was interesting. First lie from Luke. Alec brought this to my attention. He said he was clean for 2 years, but was arrested in 2025 for guns and drugs. That is one thing he said. Did you notice in Luke's interview, he was like, well, I haven't been in trouble in 2 years, whatever, or I've been clean, whatever, like that. But then he also says that he was arrested last year. I think it's kind of petty, but I get it. Kayla Day. Mom innocent, but she knows what Luke did, Misty Haynes says. 8885. Misty back in the house. Mom innocent, but she knows what Luke did. So some people still feel like Luke is involved. Some people still feel like Luke. I believe him. Gotta put you, unless you're like a psychopath like Chris Watts, Jake Harrow, Susan Smith. Who's the other ones that went on TV and just lied to national TV? You guys want to do some talking? Anybody want to chat? Look tips. JLRtips@gmail.com. Nancy Guthrie discussion. So there will be some stuff that Casey Anthony. She's another one. Who else? We're missing someone. There was another male that lied out there. Who's the male that lied? Jake Harrow, Chris Watts. Who else? There's somebody else. Somebody else that actually went on. Scott Peterson. There you go, Scott Peterson. Scott Peterson. I was forgetting Scott Peterson. Scott Peterson. It's crazy how you could just look at the world in the camera and then you know you did it, but you're looking at the world in the camera and you're pleading for the safe return of your loved one and you know you did it. Lori and Chad Daybell. Remember they were in Hawaii? Drew Peterson. People say Drew Peterson. Remember Drew Peterson? Not Scott Peterson, but remember Drew Peterson? People say Jody Arias. Alec Murdoch? Yeah, Alec Murdoch. He's another one. So if anyone wants to talk, shoot me an email right there. Tips, jlrinvestigates.com. Say you want to talk. We'll keep the conversation going a little bit. We'll have some phone calls, hear from anyone, any experts, anybody out there want to chit chat. Kind of hear from all of you. Just say, I want to talk. BJ Root. Hey, BJ Root. Absolutely. We're going to bring in BJ Root. He is a longtime subscriber to JLR Investigates, contributor. Hey, BJ Root. Love to hear from you. 14. Put your number in. I must said your number on air, BJ Root. All right, BJ Root. Come on in, BJ Root. Always good to hear from you for the first time.
JLR,
Hi, BJ Root.
how you doing?
Hello. Nice to talk to you for the very first time. I know you've been in the chat, always following all these cases for all these years.
Always. Since I live in PA, so I followed you with,
Cavalcante.
yes.
Cavalcante.
That's when I started following you.
All right, BJ Root.
Yes.
You know you're on JLR Investigates all the time. Your thoughts
Yes.
on this case?
Yes. I get withdrawal symptoms when you are on.
Oh, nice.
I'm actually watching you or listening to you here at work. But anyway, I have a pacemaker, and
Oh,
there's actually two different reasons from what the doctor told me about. One is like the mechanical side, which is actually pumps your blood through your heart.
uh-huh.
And mine is like an electrical short.
Okay.
My heart paused once it actually paused for like 18 seconds.
Uh-huh.
And then what it does is sends a signal and say, hey, you got to start pumping. But I don't have to take any medicine at all. It's just,
You don't?
no. It's just the electrical short or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And that's, so I know there's two different kinds, and I'm sure that Nancy had the other kind because she took the blood thinners and stuff, and that's, the mechanical kinds when you got to do all that. So, yeah.
So you have a pacemaker. Can the doctors monitor you from your home?
Absolutely. Yes. When something happens, like when it gives that pulse or whatever,
Uh-huh.
it's on my phone, but I also have a newer one. Like the battery, depending on how much it needs to be used and stuff,
Uh-huh.
the battery will last up to 15 years.
Oh, 15 years. Wow.
Yeah. So, but my condition, it doesn't sound like it uses as much as what the other kind would. So, because like the symptoms that if I laid down and had the issue or whatever, I didn't have any symptoms at all. But if I was standing up, I would pass out and vomit, just like, I don't know, like your heart stopped.
Yeah.
So, but if mine is used, it comes across on my phone and it transmits to the doctor.
Uh-huh.
And then the doctor will decide if they need to like see me. Like the last transmission I had was in January 26th, something like that. And it said transmission received, no further notice required. So it did what it was supposed to do, basically.
So if something's up, your doctor gets a notice, they could contact you.
Yeah, and then it also transmits every 24 hours anyway.
Okay, 24 hours. You know a time?
Yes.
In particular?
Mine is at 2:00 in the morning.
Okay, because people have
But-
discussed that, and saying, well,
Yes.
just because it stopped sinking at 228, a little before
Yeah, so
2:30,
that-
doesn't mean it was that time.
Yeah, that was kind of weird though. I would say that was because it went out of range. Because usually they pick an hour, like on the hour or on, like a half hour, 15 minutes, something like. It's not typically on an off time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha. What's good to
So
get.
that was kind of strange.
All right, well,
So I have a theory though.
go ahead.
Are you ready?
Sure.
I don't think you're ready, but
Let's do it.
Nanos is crooked.
Nanos is crooked.
Yes, you can see all kinds of stories. He supposedly stole his election and all that kind of. I mean, I don't know. I live in Pennsylvania, so I just actually a lot of it. Excuse me. A lot of it came from reading about the one that ran for senator there, and there was Carrie Lake. Her talking about him too.
Oh, she did.
Just certain statements and stuff. But anyway, it all started when he said in the very first meeting there that he, the conference meeting there, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He said when we were there Saturday night.
Yep.
He didn't say we.
Oh.
He didn't say who we was, whether it was other police. I believe Tomato dropped her off, and later, I think there's a scheme there. I think those two are coming together.
You do?
Yes, because of different issues that he's had.
You know what's crazy? Think about this, what you just said.
Oh, okay.
Like, and what Sheriff did say. Most people think he misspoke when he said Saturday night. But were sheriffs there or anyone at that house Saturday night?
Right. So what happens if something happened and Tommaso went in, I'm thinking he might have said something like, something's happened with Annie. Either like, she's at the police station or she's at the hospital or something, and we need you to come with us. And the cop car is out front with them. And nobody's going to say anything because it's a cop car. So they walk her out, and, anything could happen because her blood is so thin. She could have just knocked it on the doorway or something. Mm-hmm. A hand, anything. But if you notice, everything that anybody that they're going by has a past.
Mm-hmm.
So where the sheriff has all those records, so he could pick people that he wants to go investigate. And that takes the trail off of him.
Well, isn't what like investigators usually do in a crime anyway, an unsolved crime? The very first thing they do is look for known violent criminals around the area, known sex offenders.
Sometimes, but the first thing I said is when they said there was DNA in the house,
mm-hmm.
and he sent it to Florida instead of the FBI, I said they're going to screw that DNA up, because that could have been his instead of.
Whoa, no, again, it provokes thought. It makes it
absolutely. Well, there's no information, so you're, like you said, you speculate on everything.
Yeah,
but he can make all kinds of stories up, and they're not going to do anything. And he opened up the house the next day, because he knew what happened. He knew they didn't have to do anything more.
That would be crazy.
Yes, it would.
Would this be the biggest scandal in the United States if that happened ever?
You bet. And Savannah said that she is not fond of him in different statements too. So I don't think Savannah has anything to do with it, or Carmen or Cameron.
Yeah.
But why the hell weren't they defending and going out there and look? They know something. That whole family knows something.
That's what
because they're way too quiet. The cops are way too quiet. They're not saying anything at all. That thing today was a show.
Think so?
Sure
yes,
was.
Absolutely. I bet there wasn't a tear falling from Annie's face.
You think it was all an act?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And, Savannah's, she's the actor or whatever, you might say, with the news and all that. But
I mean, you have to have acting skills, I guess, to be on the news.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Got to
So,
be a camera ready.
and it was funny that News Nation was the only one there, you know? And if it was me and my family and I'm famous, I'm going to wait till it's like darker or something to go do that.
Yeah.
So nobody either saw me, or if it was them out there, why didn't they turn around and say thank you for covering it? You know?
Yeah, so you bring a lot of different interesting takes to the situation.
Yes.
For sure.
That's the only way I've been thinking since it started.
It's just it's just bizarre. Everything is bizarre.
Absolutely. You know, and
I just got done
he's not
making
saying
away
about
from
going
dinner.
out.
Poor
There's
guy.
no tracking dogs and stuff like that
He's hungry.
because he doesn't need them because he knows where she is.
You think they
The
know?
only other thing,
Who's that? Like he or they or who we talking
I
about?
had
Tommaso
two boneless
and
pork
cop.
chops
You
left
think
that I had
Tommaso
cooked
and the
the other
cop?
night. So I
Yep.
chopped them all
Nanos.
up in real tiny
Yep.
pieces and
Those.
made
Now,
Turtle
the only
butter
other thing I
rice
thought of was
with
kind
green
of
beans,
like out of TV or whatever.
and
But
I
does
threw
anybody
lobster
have like
chestnut and
an underground room where they keep guns or
pork chops
like
that
I work in a vault here at work,
cooked
and I was
the other night.
standing there in the vault and like
It's
somebody
good.
can live in this.
Turned out real
You know?
good. Do a little soy sauce on it. And
Does
piece
one of
bread
those
and butter and
houses, even if
piece
they
of happy
stayed in,
camper.
have a room like that? I don't
It's
know.
something easy and quick
I mean,
to make,
they're
but it
Maybe
makes
not a
Our
basement though,
homes, so-
because basement.
It is
You know,
good.
many Arizona residents have basements. They're like 2%.
yeah, that's true.
Basement,
That's
but
true.
vaults don't have to be in the
That's
basement.
something that
Exactly.
you every
some
once in a
wall-
while throw
some
something
floor in
together.
their home,
like that, you
back
know?
room,
Yeah.
behind the bookshelf.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
really,
Yep.
the hip
And
sleep
I
pattern is
really
so
want to
crazy.
say that she's alive, but reality says
sleep.
no.
She'll
She's
get up in the
gone.
middle of the night and want
She's
something
gone.
to eat. So I always
Yeah,
have
I don't
something
really
in there
wanna think
left
that way,
over
but
that he can grab.
know.
I always
And the
keep
medicine
refried
stuff,
beans
I
in there.
mean, you get
much as
90-day
I can.
supplies,
Uh-huh.
and, you know, Annie
You've
and
been
Tommaso, I
moving
bet they had extra
stir-fry?
at their house in case she
That's
needed it when
kind
they
of what
came
it's
over.
like.
Well, interesting. We'll see what happens out of this, BJ. I know you stick around all the time, and
Yes, I
you know
do.
you watch and we follow these stories and we follow them to the end. I can't wait to find out what really happened here and who's involved.
Night.
Where
Me
you
too,
know
I-
we could say we were all wrong, or we could say, "Oh my God, we got it." You know, it will be. We'll see.
Exactly. I just want to tell you, I really appreciate what you do. I live vicariously through you. I always wanted to do that, but I used to be on search and rescue team too.
Oh, you were?
And yeah, and somebody, I was a canine search and rescue, and somebody said that terrain, you know, the dogs couldn't run through that, whatever.
Mhm.
But you train your dogs for wherever you are. You know, there's
The
equipment
dogs
stuff you
are
can put on your
smart.
dogs to
They know
protect
where
them for the
chickens are and that
cactuses.
kind of
Like
stuff.
where I was, we have rattlesnakes.
Fight with a porcupine.
Right,
Like
what-
our
so,
grandpa's German
the
Shepherd
vets,
used to always do that.
They're all supplied up
Come
in
home
case
with
your dog gets bit,
porcupine quills
or
in his mouth.
protective equipment on them. You know, so
Hey,
yeah.
BJ, it was nice talking to you for the first
You
time,
too.
and thank you for watching all these years.
Thanks for watching.
Good to hear. Good to hear a voice behind the person that always drops by.
Yeah.
So very good to
Hey,
hear from you.
listen, stay humble and keep your boots on the ground. Don't let the ego get to you, and just stay the way you are. You're going places.
Appreciate it. Thank you, BJ Root. You be safe.
No
God
problem.
bless you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
BJ Root, always watching the channel. Appreciate that, BJ Root. Thank you for your perspective. BJ Root saying literally this is like sheriff is involved here. What do you think? Man, that would be crazy.
No, it's something.
That would be crazy.
Yesterday I did a small.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't even I can't even imagine if the sheriff is something involved with this, man. That would be just the
sauerkraut.
insane
I never
plot
thought of
twist
that.
anyone can
I
imagine.
love
here.
sauerkraut.
But who did this, folks? If you say, "Oh no, there's no way the sheriff's involved," then who's involved? Share with us. Who's involved and who did this? Just a random burglar, targeted attack,
Especially
hitman, cartel, MS-13, Tren de Aragua, some sort of gang member.
You know,
An
the
SA,
with sauerkraut.
convicted violent offender, and just someone that is a normal person that just did this, happened to do this, a sick psycho, a criminology student, someone playing a game, a serial killer. Hey, JLR, can you say hi to my girlfriend, Morgan? Hello, Morgan. Hi, Morgan.
I think
Welcome to JLR
JLR
Investigates.
start a
Renee
podcast, you know.
Mozart
have a podcast
Martinez
once a week about stuff
says,
that's
say
going
hi to my
on.
girlfriend, Morgan. Hello, Morgan.
'Cause
She
it's
watches
fun to
religiously.
talk to people.
Hi,
would
Morgan.
talk to them, you
Thank
know.
you for
and
watching. Yeah, this is.
I had to tell
Man,
him
I'll
that
tell you.
he needs to start a podcast. I'd
Man,
go
I'll
on
tell
it.
you. Who wants to talk? Serial killer. Oh, okay. So let's go back to
Sauerkraut, and I love red cabbage, German. Oh, me too. I like German
someone
potato salad
still
too.
ongoing investigation.
Creamier than
And
your typical potato
what's
salad.
going on here? Whose body is this?
My girlfriend lived in Germany for 8 years.
November 2025.
She learned so
Pima
much
County
German.
found the
food.
remains
Oh,
of
God.
those of
I have
77-year-old
packets
Thomas
of
Reuter.
German stuff that she gave me.
The circumstances surrounding his death remain under investigation, but he was reported missing a year ago. So what's going on here?
With
We
ribs.
have found,
I
we have
never
someone
thought of
reach out to
putting
us
it
to tell
in
us
a
that their
roast, you know,
loved
throwing
one
it in the roast and the
remains have
crock
been
pot
found
like
near
that.
Sunrise and Swan last week.
I'm gonna throw
She says it
some.
was a skull, femur, and other bones. So this has been shared to me about an elderly person by the name of Thomas Reuter that was
Well, I
found
don't
on
that. I
Sunrise
think
and
tomorrow
Swan in Pima County.
I'm gonna make
It looks like November
bell
2025.
peppers. I got some really nice
Still an ongoing investigation.
bell
His body
peppers
was found
from,
1.4 miles from his home.
on Tuesday.
Nanos has never
farmer's
solved this
market.
investigation, neither nor gave any more information
And,
regarding it. A citizen alerted the media about the remains. The
fresh.
sheriff did.
Oh God, they look good.
This is
So
the
I
same
wanna make
man that they were trusting to give us information about Nancy's investigation.
I think, but I think I might have
This
a little
man
bit
lived only 3
not
miles
myself,
from
it can
Nancy.
be some. But
There are 9 other missing cases from that area,
I gotta have a
all
little bit
still
of cheese in
unsolved.
it.
Serial
Yeah.
killer?
I like
I don't
cheese,
know, but
the
it's still
bell pepper
mysterious
with
nonetheless. So
the meat,
they're
the
posting now
onion
that a man, a 77-year-old man,
that you put in it.
was found.
I
That
got
case is still under investigation. It's near Nancy's
a
home.
little-
Yeah,
couple of
that was
pieces
just
of
presented
cheese,
to me.
Stuff it in the meat. It's so
A
good.
77-year-old man by the name of Thomas Reuter, who was previously missing for about a year. Are there missing? How many other missing people are around Nancy Guthrie's home? Do we got a serial killer on the loose in the Catalina foothills?
Maybe that's why
I
they're
didn't know
being
about
so
this guy, Thomas
touched.
Reuter.
So many elderly missing.
Wow.
You know, I think they're being hush hush because they know where she is. They know who did it. They're just
Deb
building.
says she would like to talk. Deb, all right, we got some time
Been
here.
saying that since the first
What
week.
would you like to talk about, Deb? I'm bringing you in.
I think the family.
Deb says she wants to talk.
And Annie, I think they're involved big time.
All right, Deb, you're up.
I want to try and
Pennsylvania.
put lasagna in the crock pot. Never
See what
thought
you have
about
to say,
that.
Deb. Welcome aboard.
Good cook enchiladas in the crock pot.
Hi, Deb.
You know, poor
Hey,
man.
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Well,
So I have my phone on speaker. If it breaks up, let me know and I'll put it on regular.
Sure. Go ahead, Deb.
So just a little bit of my background. I worked in medical offices in a support capacity for over 40 years. And my mom's been gone for a long time, but she was on blood thinners.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an empath, so I have the ability to feel what other people feel, sometimes even at long distances.
Uh-huh.
And I also spent several years volunteering for Meals on Wheels with the elderly.
Okay.
So the first thing was the strange person on the board.
I don't
This
even
is
think
going to
that.
sound completely
mean-
whack, but my aunt was a professional seamstress for her whole career.
Uh-huh.
She would do like whole wedding parties, drapes throughout a person's whole house. I mean, big time jobs. And a lot of times she needed help. So she would have me come over and help her measure people and stuff like that. I believe that that was a woman.
You do believe it's a woman?
Based on the many, many pants that I prepared for alterations for men and women, that is the posterior view of a woman.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that was a woman? But what about
Absolutely.
the facial hair, Deb, like we've discussed? Glued?
I'm sorry?
The facial hair.
Hey,
You can buy that at a Halloween store,
exactly.
$365.
Thank you.
So, Deb, you're not the only one that thinks it was a woman person.
Well,
to
I
put
know.
that.
I've seen. I mean, we're
Woman
a limited bunch, but I've seen that other people also said that. Now, here's this other thing that I hope. I know some of the other
yeah,
true
I
crime
like
people also follow your page. I hope
bought
somebody
me that, like a
gets
cake
this
type
information into
pan.
the right hands, because
It's only a few inches. I love
when
that.
we
thing.
had Nurse Steph on the other day, and she talked about the pacemaker and how subsequently we've heard a lot of other people talking about how I don't know if the pacemakers reset or they just kind of take a 1 second break, or however that happens. People were saying like, oh, mine does it at 2 a.m, mine does it at midnight. I don't think the investigators have taken that into consideration, or that they even know about that, because if that's the case, that totally throws off the whole, 2:28 in the morning, and then that completely destroys the notion of the Kia Soul or whatever car that was at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, the 236.
If the pacemaker reset and this all happened a couple hours prior, then they should be looking for cars that were in the vicinity, maybe, I don't know, 2.5 hours prior to what they actually were looking at.
Like when Tomasco says he took her home.
So you think the timeline's whacked a little bit?
Yeah, I don't believe. Everybody kept saying, what was he doing in the house for 41 minutes? I don't think he was in the house for 41 minutes. I think he was pretty expeditious, did what he needed to do, and got out of there and was well on his way to doing whatever his next dirty deeds were way before 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting that they'll revise that, or they're confident that that happened in the 2:30 range.
Well, some police officers, probably the FBI, is a lot better versed in medical aspects than the average sheriff would be, because it's just not their job. But
it's all
they
over
need
the
to be in
place
touch
now.
with someone who knows pacemakers, and for them to receive that information, that it's possible that their timeline's a couple hours off.
It's a mystery.
I have notes here. Let's see.
Oh, you got something else.
As far as like someone actually finding her, I don't think she's findable.
You don't think she's findable?
I don't think she was buried.
What do you think happened?
I just think that they completely did away with the evidence.
We talking about like sewer? Are we talking about burning? Are we talking about cutting up? What are we talking about?
I try not to go
that's all,
too dark.
Yeah.
Nothing is
Whatever would have been
TV,
Um,
just for people to see that.
their
I think
MO
that's good
for
that
Scary.
way. You know,
what
and
they would want
another
to
bone.
do
So,
to,
so
Bone
you're
broken.
with the notion, you think that she's not alive?
yeah, I think she's not alive. Unless they had pre-planned so well that they made sure she had enough medication.
Yeah.
But, you know, at 84, being relatively frail with at least a couple medical issues that we know about, I'm not even sure that she would have survived enough to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Oh, and the blood drops on the porch. I don't think that has anything to do with this. I think that,
Blood was
say,
already
if
there.
in the afternoon, she knew she was going to Annie's house later on, and so she was just, you know, putzing around at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how she went and checked her mail, if it would have been more feasible for her to go through the garage to get to the mailbox, or if she would have gone out that front door. But with my mom being on blood thinners, I mean, her skin, and my mom, when she passed, she was only 75, so Nancy would have, 10 years on her. But my mom's skin was like tissue paper. So one day she was at my house and she went to let the dog out, and somehow, and we never figured out how, she caught her arm on the door latch. And I mean, she ripped herself open pretty badly. We had to have a visiting nurse come for several weeks to patch her up. I think that Nancy accidentally did something to herself. She could have accidentally hit herself in the nose.
Yeah, a lot of people, pretty much think, well, a lot of people, no, I'm not saying a lot of people, just people, we'll just say people think, she could have sustained an injury from anything prior to the incident. But though some people are also saying the Nest camera, you could see blood, not the blood before, but the blood afterward on the, on the Nest cam. So I get it. I mean, it's a lot of mystery.
And then this is a strange thing to couple with the Guthrie information, but when you were with DGL the other day for the long trip up to Mount Lemon, and I think it was his phone or phone holder, something flew off the dashboard, and then you were having some issues with that yesterday. So I was a daytime Uber driver for 8 years.
Oh, you drove Uber?
And I truly bought every phone holder on the market. And I would have them flying off all the time. One literally went out the window. And it was very frustrating because I would be perhaps en route to pick up a passenger, and there my phone and my phone holders in pieces on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a local shop who installs like stereos, head units, what have you, auto starts. And I said, help me out here. This is just, we're sending people to the moon. I shouldn't have to fight with something to stay on my dashboard. Yours will likely never stay on your dashboard to the point where it is a workable piece of equipment. And the reason the guy told me is when sunlight hits the material of a dashboard, and I guess they're pretty much all made of the same thing, it emits, and I know this makes sense because of the smell you sometimes have when you get in your car on a really hot day. It's kind of like a chemical type smell until you like have the air on or the windows down. He said that when the gas gets hot and it emits that chemical, it will not allow your phone holder to remain adhered. And so after he told me that, I was like, okay, well then no sense in continuing to buy these things. So I switched over to the ones that go in the vent and never had any problem with it.
Well, I'll consider that. I got to keep it moving, Dad, but I appreciate your call.
Okay, well, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your insight.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She gave me some advice about the phone holder. Interesting. Sally Montgomery was talking about the last caller before Deb and said, I agree with your last caller on Sheriff Nanos. It was election year. He wanted the big case to be hero and he got elected. Who he hired failed the mission and now in panic. He gave himself away saying he was at Nancy's home Saturday. Just saying. And I wanted to say that because I saw your comment pop up because, you know, going back to, you know, Nanos in the last call, a lot of people have something to say. I personally think Nanos misspoke. I really do. I just think he misspoke when he said we were there Saturday. And I think he knows that. And that's probably one of the reasons why he stopped giving press conferences, because he don't want to shoot himself in the foot anymore. Nancy Guthrie case. What's going on, folks? We are starting to get dark out here. It's getting dark outside the Pima County Sheriff's Office. Look at the fleet. One of these vehicles might apprehend the suspect one day here. One of these vehicles. We got about another 15 minutes or so to chit chat and talk. Luke gave the exclusive interview. What about Carlos? Carlos and Luke. But ever since that, they have not done any type of raid again. Not at all. Tomorrow morning, there's going to be a search. And that's going to be interesting. I hope we get to see more private people out there. Because at the very least, it brings public awareness to Nancy. But why haven't we gotten to press conferences? Why hasn't there been any action? Been very, very quiet. Yes, I think it was a big deal that Savannah and Tommaso and Annie went to the house today. Why they chose to go today at that particular time. Why they go there to leave flowers at Nancy's home. I don't even think they went in the house. I think this was more like they just arrived in the SUV and they arrived at Nancy's home. They get out of the SUV, they go lay flowers, she lays a card, and then they get back in and leave. They don't even go inside the house. It's just to pay respect, the vigil, and then showing that shows that they're also in support of all those yellow flowers that are out there. Let me know what you think. I am all like literally on standby. Like I have seen like other media here kind of like coming through, but it's like all quiet. It's calm before the storm, or is this case actually getting cold? Tomorrow will be interesting. Maybe people come out. Maybe we get something. Look at this one over here. This one. Another one over there. Bunch of vehicles. All these vehicles. If there's going to be an arrest, this is what's going to pull out of the parking lot. It's what's all going to be pulled out of the parking lot. I believe they cut her pacemaker out. Oh, Becca. Becca says, I believe they cut her pacemaker out. That's the blood droplets. Oh, my goodness. No way. Inside the house, Becca? That would be horrible. There would be blood everywhere in that house.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but did the perp, without really knowing somebody, know that someone has a pacemaker to cut it out? You would have to know the person has a pacemaker, and you also have to know that a pacemaker could be tracked. If you think of someone that has a pacemaker, are you thinking in that thing, well, the pacemaker can be tracked? If this was just a random burglary, you think Nancy's going to tell the perps, I have a pacemaker. I have a pacemaker. Not so sure. But some people do think that after the fact, once she's lured out, that they did cut the pacemaker out. Removed it. That is horrible. I can't even imagine.
I know it. I can't either.
That's sick. Not only taking somebody, but it's crazy.
Very crazy.
Brett says he has a new theory about Nancy that no one's talking about. Brett. Yeah, we like to hear from males and females. We like to kind of switch it up. So Brett says it's a theory that no one has talked about. Brett. All right, Brett. 202 number calling you now. Hello, Brett. Come on in.
Hello?
Hi, Brett.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
It's going great. How are you, fellow Floridian?
Oh my goodness, I'm good.
All right. What's your theory that no one has talked about, Brett?
Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker. It's easier.
Sure. How's the
Okay.
weather? How's the weather there, by the way? You're like my neighbor almost.
Today was really beautiful. It got up to, I think it was like 83.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I could deal with that. All right.
I would like to get right down to like what I believe happened to her and who's actually involved with the whole thing.
Okay.
First of all, I don't like hearing that there's anything to do with the Epstein
You don't like that?
case at all. No. When you have something that gets involved with that, there would be a trail at some point in time back to some official or some sort of digital trail back to somebody taking her that way.
Uh-huh.
Also, with people saying that her family took her, also that would be somebody that would be taking somebody for the first time and most likely being a rookie at doing something and would have made some sort of digital footprint or trail back to the family.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been too easy. They would have found that by now, both with Epstein file and the family. So I write both of those theories completely off when it comes down to her disappearance. The other thing is a lot of people think that there is a backdoor key or the perpetrator went in the house some other way.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that the way and this is the whole theory that I was thinking outside the box, what I was telling you is that for somebody to take her without a trace and be totally gone would have to be really super good at what they do, obviously, and covering their tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So from the standpoint of somebody being able to do that on a professional level would obviously be somebody that's professional. So my theory is that whoever took her is either in law enforcement or somebody that has been in law enforcement. Now, when I say this is because when they do stuff like this, they're always one step ahead of what's going on. So when they took her, they didn't ask for a ransom for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That bought them enough time to either get out of the country, and they didn't leave the ransom note at the scene. That would have triggered the police to be locked down the city, locked down the border automatically, and that bought him enough time to get him across the border. Also, with
That's definitely
how the
thinking
investigation got messed up early with them leaking the blood on the leaves when he grabbed it from the front of the doorstep there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about all the theories, one of the theories I thought of is like who could possibly do this to that professional level, and the only answer would be is the cops, because they would be a step ahead of it. And then people also said, well, and I commented it on a few of your posts here, and I had a few people comment under my post and what I was saying, and they said, well, how would you keep an eye on Nancy without anybody knowing?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ways you would do it is either use like an Apple AirTag or something close to that with a GPS app, or you could have a trail cam that watches wildlife. Also with a live feed, you could possibly have a drone with a camera on it that would surveil the neighborhood. If the guy was down the road with the car waiting, could he have a drone out and possibly be the lookout with a drone?
So we're going like major sophistication here.
That's it. Hey man, this is on a level you have no idea, with no trail and being one step ahead of the game.
Well, what about the attire, the Walmart stuff, like a gun that doesn't even fit in a holster, and, a $10 backpack from Walmart?
So, and that's where I'm going with this, is that the obviously the police officer or whoever was a previous law enforcement, when they cased the place out, obviously too, they got videos of him going to the door without the holster. So when he goes to, you want to hear what actually I think happens when he goes to the doorknob?
What happened? What do you think?
All right. When he goes through the door, and he kind of doesn't know if there is a ring cam, but he suspects there's one. So when he does the casing of the place, he doesn't really go to the front, and he kind of like looking around to see if there's a security camera. What he doesn't know is that when he gets to that ring cam, there's going to be a little light on it, and he doesn't notice it until he gets right up next to it, and then he freaks out. So he kind of really wasn't ready for that. But what happens is when he goes up to the door, he's going to dismantle the ring cam, and he's going to knock on Nancy's door after he takes off his mask, and in that backpack he has a police uniform, or he takes the jacket off and it has police on it. Because when he goes to knock on the door, on the side of Nancy's door is a long glass window. So all he had to do is knock on the door, point at the door ring cam, and say that it was broken, she would have peeked out the side of that glass window and automatically opened up the door, or at least cracked it open.
Well, like when you're saying this, once again, it reminds me in Minnesota, Vance Bolter. Remember that case?
I sure do, and that's why I said that, is because he impersonated a police officer
to gain the trust to open.
Yes. And he would, what the perp would have did is, as soon as Nancy, and I commented also on your post, I said there's only two people that Nancy's opening up the door for at that night. Somebody she knows, or it's a police officer. Some
suggested the perp had an AI voice and a recorder to imply, of a family member, so she would think it's a family member, like play a recording.
Well, then she would at least have to peek out the side of the window to
True.
see him.
True.
And at that point in time, she would still have to open up the door. I believe, and I hate to say this, at 85 years old, if she would have seen the jacket and it said police and the holster on the side, she would have thought it would be a cop at 2:00 in the morning.
Hey, Brett, we got about a minute left because I got to sign off before 12 hours here.
Oh yeah.
But I appreciate
that's
your
my
insight.
theory, man.
No, I appreciate your insight. And so you think perp could be former law enforcement or law enforcement?
Or impersonating law enforcement, and or formerly a police officer that might not be in the CODIS system.
Interesting. Well, we'll
Because
see.
They're ahead of this one step ahead of everybody else, and it's just too good to be somebody that's a first timer, or you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
would be somebody that would be really good.
Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I appreciate your efforts trying to find her.
Yep. Thank you. Be safe.
You also, sir.
Bye-bye. She was asleep with her hearing aids out. I don't think she heard the knock. Easy Cinnamon Girl says. Interesting there. No hearing aids. Can't hear. Rent Girl. 18. Thank you.
We'll talk to you all
and
later.
I saw another comment. I didn't see who it was from, but somebody said, "My